just don't know which one to, because they keep saying Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, one letter to Tushta Krishna Maharaj. Said 76. Your home-to-home preaching is very good. The important thing is to make arrangement that they hear and chant. That will make your preaching successful. Once they begin chanting, then automatically they will want to follow the rules and regulations, attend arati, take prasadam, etc. Okay? Then there is the old section about how Srila Prabhupada wanted the home-based devotees, what we call congregation devotees, the home-based, to also preach. It's the whole section. It's a very important not because I say it's important, because Srila Prabhupada says it's important. There's an important purport, the famous verse, Yaride Kotare Kau Krishna Upadesh, to the Brahman. Yes, that one. And that was Lord Chaitanya's instruction to the Brahmana Kurma, okay? That you basically instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Shri Krishna, as in Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam, and this way become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone. So Srila Prabhupada, to that verse he says, this is the sublime mission of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In other words, Srila Prabhupada himself takes that verse as very, very important. And then he concludes by saying, the Krishna consciousness movement is trying to elevate human society to the perfection of life by pursuing the method described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his advice to the Brahmana Kurma. That is, 3 points. One should stay at home, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and preach the instructions of Krishna as they are given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's a general message. Stay at home. Don't have to abruptly change your life. Of course, you preach to students a little different because they have not yet entered their life. They don't have a life as itself. They are preparing for life. But those who already have started as some sort of life, they don't have to change their life. Stay at home, chant Hare Krishna, and preach. Okay, we can read many, but I don't want to just do so. But that was, I selected those to just give a framework of how essentially Srila Prabhupada was saying, same thing that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was saying, same thing that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur was saying. In our moment, congregational development has a bit of a checkered history, no? Or what happened is that in the 60s, Srila Prabhupada went to the US and he established temples. Because obviously when you establish a mission, you have to make devotees, you have to create brahmanas, you have to create preachers. So temple is an ideal place to do that. So he established temples, or little community temples, we could say. And then what happened actually? There was what we could call a cellular expansion. Say, this is a representation of America. And Srila Prabhupada, first place he opened was in New York. He opened a matchless gift. But I didn't ask any question. What is the... You already mentioning cities of the US. So then, see, you know the history you read. Everybody read the Lilamrita? Or at least a bridge? No? So you know the history of ISKCON. Now, from New York, he grew up from Ananda, Gargamuni, Kitlan, Umapan, and all that. Then a group went to
San Francisco.
Okay. We need to get the time right. Okay. So then there was Mukunda, Janaki, Haridas, and all those. Then third temple in ISKCON, Montreal, Canada. Okay? And then something started happening. No, already happened from the first point. You see, it was a cellular expansion. One group gets established, comes to a dozen, maximum 2 dozens, and then it splits. From New York, one group split, went to San Francisco. Yeah, eventually. Then, from New York they went up to Boston. From here they went to Toronto, and then to Chicago. From here they went to Los Angeles, Santa Fe. And it kept going like this. It kept going like this. This is basically a cellular way of expansion. You build some mass, or you build some momentum somewhere, and then part of it goes and creates somewhere else. And if you, when you'll stop thinking, when you'll start thinking about this, you'll see that often what the ISKCON Congregational Development Ministry promotes is the same process. Only difference is that we say it can be done in the same city also. It doesn't have to be from one city to another. In the same city, the same process can go on. Different bases, temples, and then smaller centers and smaller groups. Groups becomes more and more groups, and I think also is your experience. We have seen how Shishirada Gopinath Mandir started with 3 council groups, 3. And then now there are about 60, right? So, in the same city, one group to the next, because that's a kind of a natural progression of events. But then what happened is that there was a phase of focusing on temples, say the 60s, the 70s, in some places the early 80s. But then what happened, most people in the temple, the vast majority, I'm talking about the West, they got married, they moved out of the temple, and somehow the momentum of, let's say, community building, congregational building, kind of was diffused, became much weaker, because people somehow they had the training of being devotees in the temple. They did not have the training of being devotees outside the temple. So many of them, and I'm saying many of them, had a lot of struggle with that. A basic thing, getting up in the morning and chanting one's rounds and doing some service, giving charity. Many of them were, basically all of them were giving 100% in the temple. They went outside the temple, many of them started giving 0%. So we had a pattern in the US and the Europe in which, because the congregation was weak, and because the society changed, there were not so many hippies in the streets, people were not looking for alternative lifestyles anymore, they were more conservatives, they were more, let's say, normal in their plans. They didn't want to, they're not looking anymore for the truth or for the enlightenment or for nirvana. They were looking to get a job, finish their education, get a job with a family. So the world shifted, and we ended up in a situation in which the temples were open, were empty, okay, because everybody got married, and people outside were not trained, were not mobilized, as Srila Prabhupada preach and this and that. So we had a phase of stagnation in one sense. And there are yatras who hit that first, yatras who hit that later. But there was this phase of stagnation. And at one point we even have this situation where many temples in the US, they are run because they import devotees from India, from Russia, from Latin America, for some place in Europe, like Croatia. In other words, the temples that were open with so much enthusiasm and so much energy, and they were full of devotees at one point, right now, not all of them, but some of them, you go there, a Mongol arti, and there are more deities than devotees. And I could mention it, Detroit, Atlanta, there are more deities than devotees in Mongol arti. And not that in Darshan arti there are many more devotees, maybe 3 more devotees. So, as a movement, we need to get our sociology right. We need to have we need to have our society in order. India, at the beginning, if you see the GBC resolutions, 75, 76, up to 77, there was a concept. In GBC, official GBC resolution terminology, there was the concept of Big Brother, which generally is a different concept. But Big Brother, they meant that one temple in the US would adopt a temple in India. So, or a zone in the West would adopt an area of India. So you can still see, I can show you if you like, those GBC resolution, that the zone of Jayatirtha becomes Big Brother for, Ahmedabad. And this becomes Big Brother for South India, like that. It was a sense of dependency. Because they would send people, they would send money, okay? Because India was still the major frontier, but still the third world of ISKCON. Then in 77 or 78, there is a resolution which says, we congratulate ISKCON Juhu because it's the first Indian temple which will not have a big brother. We'll start, doing things by their own strength. Okay. And now we are in a situation which India may really have to become big brother of the rest of the world. I mean, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. In organizational development, which is a GBC committee I'm involved with, I already did something to introduce this idea, how a temple in India could adopt, or at least do what they call the twinning, twin cities, what do you call it? Huh? Couple, twin cities. Not twin cities like Hyderabad and Secunderabad, but they make like a relation between 2 cities, which basically means adopting. Huh? Maybe Pune could adopt Asunción, Paraguay. What do you laugh? There's a city called Asunción, Paraguay, or maybe I don't know, Pandharpur could adopt Santiago, Chile, and maybe Mira Road could adopt Detroit, Michigan. Maybe Juhu, Bombay can adopt all Africa. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, what I'm pointing is that the geopolitics or the geoeconomics or the sociologics of ISKCON changed a lot in 40 years. Okay? In fact, you see now India had to basically save the day with this youth fund case. Some of you actually, I think all of you contributed to that, right? Right?
Yes.
Maybe not personally, but you as a group, your collections, your efforts, you contributed to that. So India is, not only economically, but